Hey everybody, this is Yami Sama 5 here, and I want to do something that I don't really do. I'm gonna try a build, and it's gonna be a very simple build. It's gonna be a 3 bedroom, 1 bath house, but this build is kind of special in that it is, to the best of my abilities, going to be a replicate, a copy of my grandmother's house. Um, I had this idea because I was playing The Sims just by myself and I was going to build a house for my Sims. And then an idea came, man, I really miss, my grandmother in her house. And I was going to build that house as like a stage 2 house because right now my Sims are living in one of those starter homes. And I was going to build it as a stage 2 house, give them a little bit more room. But then I thought, compared to the original house, it's just one extra room. So if I wanted them to have a bigger house, I would want like another bathroom and a couple other things. But I still wanted to build my grandmother's house. So that's what I'm going to do now. And I felt I should, share this with you guys, see how this will be my first recorded build. I'm trying to get the camera there. A little bit about my family. I don't know if I have mentioned this in other videos, but my family is from the Caribbean, Barbados to be specific. And I think I need to have a little bit more there. And we live in the country. Not all of Barbados is the country. Some of it has city and stuff like that, but we live in the real country. Like there's cows and goats and monkeys and all that type of stuff going on there. And even though to other people's standards my grandmother's house would have looked run down, it was one of the most perfect places for me. Like whenever I went there, I just felt happy. Like my grandmother was there, my grandfather was there, my uncle was there, my favorite uncle was there. And he always did fun things with us. Like he took us to the beach. And now that I think back, really fond memories. My uncle always had this obsession. Now I don't know if this is safe or if you're supposed to do this, but every time my uncle would take us to the beach for the very first time on our visit, we would visit him summer vacation. The very first time he would take us to the beach, he would tell us, okay, you have to drink the seawater. And I remember the first time hearing this thinking, why do I need to drink the seawater? This kind of makes no sense to me. And his reasoning is, you're coming from the States, ate all that junk over there, and I want to get you cleaned out. Like, alright, well, he's my uncle. I kind of gotta listen to him. Really got no choice in the matter. But I still don't want to drink it because I don't know if any of you guys have ever done this, but have you ever drank pure salt water? Have you? No? In the comments below. Just pure salt water from the ocean. Not diluted, nothing, just scoop your hand and bam, salt water. So we would go and we would take the tiniest little sip. Okay, good, we're done, and he wouldn't let us play or anything like that. Okay, good, we're done. No. He would gather up his large hands, both hands put together, and make like a bowl and scoop up water, and we had to drink his entire hand's worth of water. It was gross. And of course, every time, without fail, what would happen is we would throw up without fail. And the first time it happened, we're like, oh my gosh, we're throwing up. What's going on? Did we, swallow some animal or something, some microscopic organism that's going to make us sick for the rest of our vacation? He was like, no, that's just the ocean cleaning you out. It's getting all the toxins from what you were eating back in the States, is getting it out of you. And now we're going to fill you with the good stuff. Okay. So then he'll let us play. And there were a whole bunch of... Oh, there was only one gate here. I'm getting distracted. You guys are distracting me. There were lots of other little things that they used to do right when we got there. Like, my grandmother, she had this thing right after we got off the plane. She wouldn't let us undress or anything. She'd, as far as, let us get our suitcases into the house and into our bedroom. But then she would sit us down and have us eat oatmeal. Now, this just wasn't any oatmeal. It was just plain oatmeal, just oats. No sugar, no any type of honey or any flavoring, just pure oats. And I tell you, I dreaded that every time. Oh, come on, please. Why? Because, I was a kid. I liked sugar. And if you guys ever saw a picture of me, I'm not the thinnest thing. So I still love sugar. So to taste something that bland made me cry inside. But my grandmother, being the old school she is, you could not leave that table without finishing it. Now a lot of people are saying, well, you could always just use your drink to mask the taste, right? Wrong. With my grandmother being old school, like I just said, she did not allow drinks at the table. No, because what a lot of kids would do. Wow, this is looking a bit wide. I don't want to make this too wide. What a lot of kids would do, I'm just going to squeeze that back one, is, and this is probably still the same for today, they would fill up on their drink. If they don't want to eat something, they would fill up on their drink and then not finish their meal. And my grandmother was not having that. Not at all. So you would get no drink. Your drink would come when you are finished your plate. And then you would get your drink. Now, a lot of people say, oh, that's cruel, but I understand her methods. And if I can get this to be on the ground, there we go. I understand her methods because we didn't have much food to go by. And they also grew up at a time where there wasn't much food. You basically had to grow your own food, or if you were lucky, your neighbor shared with you. You had to go and have your own. Like, I know my mom told me stories of them having their own goats and their own chickens in the backyard. They don't have those anymore, but they did growing up. So I'm thinking to myself, that's probably her reasoning behind the way she's acting. So I took to it. I had no problems. And of course, while I'm recording, the street sweeper decides it wants to go park right outside my window. Apparently, the corner of the street that I live on is particularly dirty. So I'm going to pause my speech for a little bit and wait for it to drive away. Drive away. Okay, good. Where they didn't really have... Do I have move objects on? Yeah, I might as well leave it on. But anyway, I loved going to this house. Oh, that's terrible. I'm trying to find something similar to our front porch door. Now, I'm not sure how it's done in other Caribbean islands, but I know at the very least in Barbados, I'm about to put a front door here, but you would never enter through this door. You would enter through, and you guys are probably wondering what this is. This is where you would enter from. So I should probably go ahead and put stairs there, because you never entered through the front door that you would see looking directly at the... Can you please? Thank you. Looking directly at the house. And the reasoning being was that this was your living room. When I start putting the furniture in, this is going to be your living room. And you don't want people walking directly through your living room because it could be raining outside. And unlike, this is totally false. The house, I mentioned that we were in the country, the house that we lived in, there wasn't paved roads on the street that we lived in. It was mostly dirt. So if it was raining or somebody was watering something or what have you, somehow the road got wet, you don't want to be tracking that through your living room. So you also always had like a side entrance that led to some type of antechamber that had a stone floor you could easily hose down or wipe down, or it led to a antechamber that had a tile floor so you could mop it properly and keep it clean that way. But you wouldn't go through your living room because that's where your nice wood was, that's where your carpets were if you had some. So this door was mainly to get to the front porch. And yeah, you can use it because there were obviously stairs here. You can use it to go in and out the house, which we did sometimes, but only if we were going directly here to the front of the house where my grandmother had a vegetable, and it decides to make a second trip. Thank you, sweet street sweeper. Where it decides to make a second, where her garden was. So you would come as far as these stairs, but then you have to go back. But if you were leaving the house to leave the house, you would have to go back in the house and go out the side door, which was actually quote unquote the front door. So I hope that makes sense to some people who are from the Caribbean or have parents who were raised in the Caribbean, or maybe other cultures have the same rule, I would call it. Oh, finally I found a door that matches. This is the closest door I could find to the door for the front porch. Because the door to the front porch, it was a solid door, but it had glass in it, like this one, though the glass is going too much of the door. And then there were also tiny little windows to the side. So I'm going to put that there. I will recolor the house later, but I just want to get everything in place and then I'll recolor it. I wonder, this is probably going to be a long video. Probably, I don't know. You guys tell me later what I should do. If I do continue making these builds, do you want, and this is probably the closest one to this one, do you want me to just build the house and then comment over it? Which I would have to figure out how to do. Or do you want me to talk to you while I'm building? Because albeit me talking to you while I'm building, it's gonna slow me down. So, because I'm gonna have to stop to try to think about how I'm building the house and then try to think about how I'm gonna continue talking to you guys. Now, the type of windows, since we live in, I hope, Yeah, this would be the closest type of windows. The type of windows, oops, that we had in our house, they were made out of glass. And I know that sounds stupid, but they were kind of louvers like this. Only you see how every louver is wood? Ours, everyone was made out of glass. So it was a louver system, but the window didn't open up like this one did. Like, pretend this is closed, but when you turn the knob on the inside, like kind of like that, when you turn the knob on the inside, the louvers opened as opposed to that whole thing coming out. And those individual louvers were made out of glass. That was the windows for the front of the house. So this is the closest I can get. This is a little disappointing because I was really excited about these windows. But I mean, you win some, you lose some. You know what? I should probably, I'm here putting in windows and doors and stuff, and I haven't even outlined the rooms. Like, I have the layout in my head, and I'm trying not to take up. Oh, I think I made the house too long. Like, okay, let me just put the rooms in. Like, first I made it too fat, and then I made it too long. And this wall that I'm building here, this is incorrect because the type of wall that was here was a it was kind of like a wood wall that was crisscrossed. How do I explain it? Like, if you took 2x4s, well, not really 2x4s, thinner than that, and you made like a crisscross type of pattern, like if you would see it in a garden with vines going up it, that type of pattern. This wall here and this wall here, that's what that was in the house, you know, minus the vines. And close that in. Yeah, that works. I know this looks really small. Maybe I can do one more out. Can I do that? Yeah, I'm gonna have to do that. And then it was kind of staggered like that. And then you had that like that. And that. Okay, so this is basically the layout of the house. The 3 bedrooms are here. Though I think this is a little too much. And this not really enough. So let me... There. This is the layout of the house. And I'm getting a little nostalgia about this place. Because like I said, it was one of my favorite places to go. Like, whenever it was summertime, the only thing that I hated about it was the fact that I had to wake up at like 5, not even 3 o'clock in the morning to hop on a plane to go there. But other than the plane ride and the subsequent little nuances that I needed to do before I actually start enjoying myself, going to my grandmother's house was honestly the best thing ever. I would always come back. And the funniest, this looks really small. I am sorry. I am like arguing with the width. I think that's about right. I'm trying to visualize it in my head and bring it to scale. So I don't mess up, because once I get the walls up, I don't want to have to go back and fix something while I'm trying to furnish. If that makes sense to anybody. And then I'm trying to remember. I paused because I'm trying to remember if there was a step back here. I haven't seen this house in a couple years. I'm surprised I remember this much of the layout. But it's just this back step getting into the backyard. Right, it was just one step. I'm not good with the cheat codes and all, so you would have to forgive me. This back exit only has one step, so it's one step down into the backyard. But if anyone in the comments could tell me how to do that, to just make a platform leading from a house to one step, that would be much appreciated, and it would help me in possible future builds that I may want to do. So I'm just going to put all of these types of windows into the house because they are the best representation of the windows. It was more over here. Of the windows that were in my grandmother's house that I can give you guys. And then I remember distinctly that this one, it had a smaller window. I wonder, do I have windows like that? I guess this one will do. This is the closest one too. But the window that's here, that I'm putting this here for, it was basically cut that window in half with the louvers and put that there. That was basically what that window is trying to represent. But I can't really do that because I don't know if a window like that exists. Turn that. I have to turn this sheet off. For now. Just so I can properly spin these windows so they don't drive me crazy. Okie dokie. Now I think I got the basic layout down. Got the side door, and this here is a back door. Now this door, it wasn't like that one. Let's put this door here, because this back door also had louvers on it. There were a lot of louvers in this house. That's kind of off, but I mean, what can you do? This is the best Sims can do for me. Okay, so now the coloring of the outside of the house. I need like wood shingles type things. Oh, actually, that's perfect. Only it was brown. Yeah, that's perfect. Now the old house, this house is actually broken into two parts. This first part here was the original house, including the bathroom. So this was the original house. And then this part back here was added on. So in real life, the front part of the house was made out of wood, and the back part of the house is made out of like poured concrete cement type thing. I'm not sure how I can really pull that off. Maybe I could just make the floors like one would. no. And then make it back here. Like, oh, can it be daytime so I could see? Thank you. Gosh. I need kind of like a smooth. Okay, that's as close as I'm gonna get. I suppose since this part is concrete, that I can't really. I gotta make. I don't want it to panel like that. I want it to be smooth. Can't I have smooth concrete? Why can't you do that? Oh, if you hear some like patter, patter, patter in the black background, those are just my cats. Yeah, that's all the cats. They're deciding right now when mommy's trying to record is the opportune time to jump up and down off their cat tree. Just like, fuck her. We don't care that she's recording. Let's play a game. Oh, this is actually turning out pretty nice. Let me get woods. Can I get a darker? Let's try that. Oh no, the lighter looked better. Yeah, that looks so much better. You know what? This will be so much easier if I just, do something like that. Yeah, instead of trying to... I'm so foolish sometimes. Okay. That's Kitty scratching. Now is not the time to sharpen your back claws, Eris. Now is not the time. Can you kindly do that some other time? Please, thank you. That's basically what the front door looked like. And I might as well take the coloring to the windows too. Now mind you, this is gonna look slightly different from no. Can you oh, well, I guess that's okay. And that door was actually white, so I'm gonna leave that white. And that door was actually metal, so I'm gonna leave that metal. Yeah, I think next time I'm just going to build the house, and because I'm kind of running out of things to say. So next time I think I'm just gonna build the house and then voice over it. Again, if you know how to do that properly, please let me know, because I would love to. I would love to know how to do that. Oh, god damn it, I missed one. Actually, no, I'm just gonna leave that because, this part of the house is a different color. And this is all still poured concrete. It's so hard to color foundation. Cats, please. Please stop. No, we're just gonna scratch harder. I apologize, people. Okay, now the walls on the inside were basically the way it looked on the outside. So I'm actually going to eyedropper this and put that on the inside as well. Makes things very easy, actually. And then this was basically how that went. And this was all concrete room, and that was all concrete room. Okay. Oh. It's very simple creating things from my childhood, especially this house, seeing how it's older. You didn't really waste time on, well, not time, waste money on having expensive wallpapers and such. Oh, I should herp de derp. If you want to put a archway there, you kind of need to close the wall. Da da da. Okay. So I'm just gonna put simple archways here. And then color it. Okay. So I think the basic coloring of the house on the outside. Actually, let me check out the roof. That is wrong. Cannot change the style.